pact once broken, forged anew. Warlocks Waffles.
Did you want waffles?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. We are desperately trying to make a thing work, and it is fighting us. But we're fighting it back. We're trying to make it happen. Welcome to Warlocks and Waffles, the only TTRPG morning show. Junie, how was your weekend?
Really, really good. I was kicking around this idea for a long time, and then I had too many ideas, and then I settled on one too late. And now this morning has been making Hunter wait, and it's very rude of me. So you see you don't see any of the slide at all.
No, I see the title of the slide, and I see
Mhm.
a thing that says, "Welcome to Canva Live. Send the presenter a question or comment."
Mm-hmm.
But I do not
And
see
it
any
just,
slides.
I see. I see. That's unfortunate. Okay.
It's not ideal.
It is not. It is not. Okay. So, then what I'm gonna do
Uh-huh.
is I will just make my screen the I'll make my camera the thing. I'll end this Canva Live. So that's lame. There's this thing called Canva Live, which is essentially you can do a presentation, and then people can like kind of like chime in questions as it's going on. So I'm guessing this is only for, I guess their intention is if you are at something, you scan it and you're live and you can do it there, which is cool for us, but that means I still have to screen share. That's unfortunate, but
Yeah,
easily.
just screen share, just do like in the call here, you can just screen share it there and I can just grab that source and put it into the stream.
Oh, okay. All right. I was gonna make my whole camera do a thing.
Yeah, that's a wild thing
Uh,
to choose.
well, that's what I felt I had to do, Hunter. That's what I felt I had to do because nothing was going as I wanted it to. I
This is
I
such a
was.
good beginning as with the show.
This is so good, right? Because this is
This
this is
is the
how.
content they pay us the big bucks for. Welcome to the
Mm-hmm.
stream, everybody. I'm drinking Mountain Dew from KFC.
Yep. That's a thing.
Mountain Dew Sweet Lightning. Not a sponsor unless they want to be.
Not- okay. All right. So this should be a blank screen, right?
Yeah, give me a
That's
second.
that's.
I gotta make it.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is, trust me, you guys. It's the right level of stupid. All right, I was gonna wear a tie. I had so many things. And then I okay. 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 So, Hunter, Hunter Hunter contacted me at 2:30 in the morning last night, right? And he said, "Hey, give me some original campaign and adventure ideas by morning." And I said, "These are unfair working conditions." And he said, "I'm going to bed. I expect some things." So, I this is Hunter's voice. Oh, did I? Oh, I janked it up. I janked it up a notch.
Where is this me? This might be me.
That's
Hello.
you. That's you. But is it me?
Let's see here.
Is it me? Is it you? Is it who? Is it
Mike
huh?
3.
Huh? Who's Mike 3?
I'm,
Mike 1 and 2?
I'm working on
Am I
it.
right? Am I right, everybody? Am I right?
I will end
Um,
you.
For the audio listener, this is just as bad visually.
This
as it
is us. Welcome to show.
Okay, Rosie, you can't say something like it's auto-tuned because now we don't know if it's just coming through janky or
Yeah, that
if
is
it's some sort of
unhelpful.
gag.
Maybe this. This might be.
Sweet
this
Rosie
might
B in
be
the
better.
chat, not helping.
Sweet Rosie B, known unhelpful person.
Known unhelpful. It's so far from the truth. Oh God. Yeah, it was rude. I apologize.
Rosie, the only reason we're calling you out right now is because it's just so clearly untrue.
This is true. Yes.
You are such a helpful person. How does that sound? On the stream side, how does that sound? Is my
I
audio
hope
coming
that this,
through okay?
yeah, I hope it sounds good. Hunter, you always sound good to me. So hopefully it sounds good to them, who they is,
We'll
where
find
they
out.
are. So anyway, it wasn't a decision on my part to do this entirely last minute because that's where my brain works. And as Junie does, he didn't overestimate or underestimate, whatever the term is. So anyway, this is 100% certified thing. It's definitely Warlocks and Waffles approved. Everything that I'm about to put out there has been vetted by Hunter because he just says get it done. So that means it just happens. It's good. But these are campaign ideas that are so good. They're just good enough to steal, but totally they are not stolen. These
Rosie
are like
in the chat says, "I'm unhelpful. I'm not gonna let you know how you sound."
That's fair. We deserve that.
That's totally fair.
That's 1000% fair. So if there was any sort of like copyright infringement or something like that, it does kind of go above me to like the channel responsibility.
You
so
piece of shit.
So
how dare you?
I originally was gonna clear everything with Hunter, and this is what happened. He's like, "You got 3 minutes."
Hey, you know why you had 3 minutes? Because you joined the call at 7:57.
Hey. Don't hit me with facts. Okay, look. So here I am, right? Here's we got 3 for you. Completely good.
The
Original
best part about
things.
this for the audio listener, the best part about this is that because this is a screen share of
I'm gonna word picture this. I'm gonna word picture what they see.
Oh, I'm just saying the quality of this video next to our videos is astronomically different.
What do you mean?
It's just way blurrier than our videos because of it being a screen share. It's all legible.
Really?
It's just different. It's fine. It's fine. Go.
Because if that's the case, I would just rather have you have it on your end because then it'll come out clear. Oh my God.
I see it on my end. Like I see it. I just can't like do any like it's the transfer is small, worse.
Oh man, okay. Well,
but if you want to be able to edit the slides and stuff, that's
it's just a matter of transitioning the slides. I could just have you I could just say next slide, but that'll get annoying. So all right.
It's all good. Let's go.
Anyway.
It's a 100 certified thing.
So adventure pitch number 1. It's a tale as old as time, right?
Correct.
So check it out. The adventuring party is hired by a nearby town to defeat a handsome manticore who has taken residence in a nearby castle.
Sure.
And if this wasn't bad enough, the monster has kidnapped a local beautiful person and
Okay.
is keeping them trapped against their will.
Uh-huh.
So we kind of have like an adventure flow chart to kind of help things going on. There's like the village, and then we have a local buff man that he can be like the quest giver.
Right. He's clearly the
that-
hero.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smile. He's just so handsome and strong. But then there's a castle and stuff like that. And it kind of goes from there. But the adventurers they got to storm the castle.
Mhm.
They got to defeat some singing and dancing furniture and bric-a-brac, and kill the very handsome beast. Like they know they
Yeah.
have to kill him, right?
Yeah.
But
Well, I
however,
mean,
this is
if it's a manticore, like those
Mhm.
things will come hunting you at night.
Mhm.
You'll be sacrificing your children to its monstrous appetite. Like, yeah, you got to
and this
kill
one's
the beast.
and this one's really buff, so like it has a monstrous
Yeah.
appetite. Like it's got to eat to keep those gains up, right? But however, the party might discover that it all isn't what it seems, and they might end up on a new quest
Ooh,
to break a curse.
love a good plot
before
twist.
Yeah, before like there's like this enchanted rose before all the petals fall off of it.
Mhm.
So like they might find that they have to like
Kind of a
you know,
work
just
against the
complete
clock situation.
correct. So it's like, you know, it's they fought to get to blank the end to do it, but then it's like, you know, they could just complete their objective and then, you know, receive the praise of the town and the handsome woodsman.
Mhm.
Or they could like continue it
Mhm.
and try to like complete a new objective, but this one's like on the clock. You know,
Right.
before it was like, oh, we got to hurry up. You know, we don't know what's going to happen to this beautiful person that's been kidnapped.
Mhm.
But then, spoiler, there might be something else.
Right.
So
Fun.
I think, yeah. Just what are your thoughts? Is it too
I
good?
I mean, I like it. For me, this is a. I feel like this one is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm aware of the concept of this game, but this one feels like it might be very evident from the beginning
Mm-hmm.
what it is playing off of. So to me,
The
this-
human condition. What do you mean? Like,
yeah, no, you're right. Never mind.
what do you mean? I'm trying to.
In all seriousness, I love the idea of running this as an adventure.
Mhm.
I think that it would be very entertaining to see how far into it you could get before somebody went, is this Beauty
Wait,
and the
what?
Beast? Are we just playing through Beauty and the Beast right now? I think that would be a lot of fun, especially like depending on how you play some of the characters. If you can get the players firmly on the side of like the handsome buff guy who like sends them on the quest, if you can have them firmly on his side before they realize what the movie is, that's very funny.
Yeah. And there's just, you know, there's a candelabra there just as an example of
Yeah,
a thing,
but it
that
could be
there.
anything, a candelabra, a clock, like a teacup with a chip out of it. Yeah, just a talking teacup that has a crack down the side of it. It's just called like Crackhead.
Oh God. Yeah.
You ever
Mm-hmm.
you ever wonder how horrifying it would be to be a magical, like a magical piece of furniture or something that is a person that was transformed into a piece of like magic furniture, and then like a leg gets broken off, or like
Oh, yeah.
a chip gets taken out of a teacup or something like that.
Well, the saving grace
and then
is
they
that you're not
do
bleeding.
turn back into people.
Yeah.
How does that translate?
I mean, I would like I said, the saving grace is that there's no blood. First of all, you could be mended potentially.
Sure.
I think that because magic shenanigans, it would be that you would just kind of come back without that thing. So you'd have like a nub or like, a piece of your face
Mm-hmm.
or head, just kind of like a divot now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like it was almost like the magic would try to fill in the gap. You know what I
Sure.
mean? So if it's
Sure,
something you
sure.
had like, oh, it would be a piece of your head.
It's like
Maybe
autocomplete.
it's yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just like, it's like the equivalent of like you had a fracture and it didn't heal right. So it's
Right.
just kind of janky.
Somebody just uses the like Photoshop generative fill.
Yeah, I mean, it's magic. You can get away with things. And for anybody asking, the handsome woodman, his name would be Richard White. And that's not a play off anything. That's just he's not the original voice actor for anybody, and specifically because none of this is actually from anything else.
Right.
This is all original.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Love
so
it.
so you this is something that you think like, yeah, this is like we can green light this kind of thing. We can
And what
promote.
what
Yeah, this
what
is
it, what was the monster you said it was?
a handsome manticore.
A manticore? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Like a big
Got it.
beast type
Got
of
it.
like
Yeah.
amalgamation of other things. Yeah, like
Got it.
just start throwing in animals like a wildebeest and a bear and like a lion or something. Just it's kind of dealer's choice
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah.
All right, so adventure tip 2, tentacles invading your world, right? Okay, so this one is the adventuring party is commissioned by in secret by a queen to investigate these two mysterious women
Mm-hmm.
that have come into the life of her son, the prince, right?
Uh-huh.
One is beautiful yet silent, and the other is also beautiful, albeit like slightly bitchy and very not silent, right?
Just singing
Now,
all the time.
huh?
Just singing all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. And as they're investigating, they're gonna eventually it might take them under the sea, where they'll discover like a bunch of whoozits and thingamabobs, but just like a bunch of other things that it'll be like it's gonna be part lore dump, part like a magic item festival. They're just gonna find a bunch of different things.
Mm-hmm. So it's either going to
are
be
you with me so far? Yeah.
Yeah. So this adventure either takes place like part of our world or like
Mhm.
under the sea.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
and it'll be fun. Like I always think it's I've always liked the idea of like quest specific or necessary items.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like the
some
the Sunblade in Ravenloft.
correct.
Yeah.
So just imagine it's like hey, here's a choker that lets you breathe underwater. Like,
Mhm.
there's certain items that you don't need to attune to, like a ring of water walking out of that you
Yeah.
need to attune to. So just imagine like, oh, this lets you breathe underwater, but like here's mariner's armor for everybody.
Mhm.
So but this is attunement. So it's gonna take up an attunement slot, but you can all like move freely underwater. So
Yeah.
it gives them like we can just shift like Futurama or like cartoon style completely underwater, and it could take place there, and it just kind of keeps going.
Mhm.
But how you with me? You're good with
Yeah.
me here so far?
I
You think
track.
this is yeah. Um, and then tentacles. Just a lot of tentacles, right?
Uh-huh.
Giant black tentacles, but not like the hentai kind of way. Just like
Uh-huh.
just a bunch of like, tentacles will happen. It's gonna be real ominous. What went wrong? Did they do something? Did somebody else do something? Is there another sub B plot kind of happening that they're not aware of? But hopefully, after everything is said and done, they might attend a wedding and gain the favor of a sea king.
Mm.
Right?
That's fun.
Right? So it's kind of got like a little bit of, it's just like, whoa, they become like heroes of not just land, but they become the heroes of sea kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
I mean, so it sounds like a lot of this adventure takes place underwater and kind of in the ocean.
A fair amount of it, yeah, probably
Okay.
could, yeah.
So are they probably want a party that can like speak to animals and stuff like that to be able to get information.
Well, the animals might be able to
that'd
talk
useful.
too.
Oh, talking animals is good.
It might,
Mhm.
you never, yeah, it's a dealer's choice, like DM discretion, but like sometimes, if your party has a druid or has that, like go for it. But sometimes just give it to them,
And
just like, oh, this is a thing.
is the villain of this one just a like it's just tentacles? Like there's no larger element
Oh,
to it.
well,
It is just
well,
tentacles.
Oh, well, if you follow those tentacles, you'll find out that it comes down to like spoiler, like it's really like a sea witch.
Oh, okay.
Um
Okay.
and she
So it's
may
some
or may
sort of
not have
like
been.
eldritch horror type situation.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes, and they may or may not have been someone we met earlier in this adventure. I'm not going to say who,
Hmm.
but yeah,
I mean, it's the
it get
queen, right?
it,
It's got to be the
huh?
queen.
I can't tell you. I don't want to
Okay.
like. I want to give a good amount of it to hook people, and I want to say
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
every little detail. Um,
I
but
don't know.
like
That
and once
crab that's on that middle image is pretty suspicious.
it's there for moral support. Like
Uh-huh.
you got to have that one.
Acts as kind of like a
I,
conscience type vibe.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you don't like. I feel like it's sometimes it's the quest giver or like important NPC that drives the thing forward is like in the beginning, and then it's like sometimes things can get like muddied and
Hmm.
like the party can like needs a little bit that focus, and they're that
Yeah.
good mid act like hey go this way, and then they'll kind of like point them in the right direction.
I'm sorry. What was
Mhm.
that? What was that line he said?
He said like to go that way to
Uh-huh.
go like in a different direction.
Cool.
Hmm.
I like that line. It's a good line.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is one of those things where like it's all suggestion.
Yeah.
People can like take it however they want, so they can just have whatever voice they want.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey,
uh,
I like this one.
mhm.
I feel like my wife would really enjoy this one. This one
Okay.
might be one of her favorites of your pitches.
Well,
Um,
if you know anything about, never mind. I'm not gonna say that joke. Never mind. Uh, I'm gonna.
y'all,
All right. Now that we all are,
for anybody who doesn't have the opportunity to sit in on our like pre-show calls, the number of times that Junie will start a joke and then bail on it after he has started, but it's too late to pretend that he wasn't going to make a joke. And so then he's just like, yeah, it's like a, never mind. And it's like,
all right. So
it's like a
Junie has
what?
this. Junie has a game that it's what I was gonna say, and for some reason I have this in my head that if I say what I was gonna say, then it doesn't count. But it doesn't make it any less like messed up, rude, or like just not cool. So what I was gonna say was something along the lines of it's like because if we know anything about her, she's always down for giant black tentacles. And then I was just like,
About my
maybe.
wife?
Well, yeah, I didn't want to
Yeah,
say that,
it was a good joke to bail on. Well done.
Yeah, so I was just like, all right, hey, I want to say it because it's kind of funny as a joke, but like not cool. So
Yeah.
like I'm not,
Well,
I'm not saying it, but what I was gonna say.
I'm telling her you said that.
You have to do it in context.
She's gonna text Shanice.
You tell your husband to stop telling people about my love of tentacles. So
I mean,
we're agree that
I
this
like
one.
this one as
Mhm,
well.
mhm.
You know me. I like having
Tentacles.
like ambient music and stuff like that in my
Mhm,
games. And I feel like both of your pitches so far lend themselves well to very good music.
mhm. Yeah, like steel drums
Mm-hmm.
or like
Yeah.
French music.
French music. Yeah.
For the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, any opportunity to have a character who just says "sacre bleu" a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, if you want your crab saying sacre bleu, I mean that's that like I said, you can have them sound however you want.
Yeah.
These are all like suggestions and
Mm-hmm.
like general like, however you want to go
I
about
think
it.
an undersea adventure really lends itself to French music.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also, this is supposed to have animations. Like, it's not happening on my end, but like
Hmm.
when I shift to this slide,
Hmm.
the tentacles are supposed to be like going
Moving.
crazy the whole
Mm,
time. Yeah. Um,
that's fun.
so that makes me sad that
I
this
also
isn't doing what
I
I'd
like
hoped.
that
Hmm.
both of your pitches so far have ended
Hmm.
with two people dancing.
That's just a coincidence. Uh, that's just a coincidence. Because it could end with like it's a silhouette because in the first adventure it could be the handsome woodsman and
Hmm.
the beautiful kidnapped person.
Oh, see,
It
I just
could
assumed it
be
was two party members.
It could be two party
I
members
just
at a
assumed it was
party,
some party
celebratory
afterwards.
party.
They're
It
just
could
like,
be a
we did
celebratory
it. It's
party.
time to have a
Yes.
romantic ballroom dance.
Correct. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, are there like inter-party romances? And that's a, you know, that's a
Hey,
table
yeah.
discussion.
Yeah.
As long as safety tools are in place and everybody's cool, like that's fine. Oh, or is it different people?
Have you ever
We don't
been
know.
have you ever played in a game where your character had a relationship with another character?
There was one time I like even remotely hinted at something like
Mhm.
that, in like a way where it was they like almost like they didn't know what they were feeling, but like
Mhm.
a person could interpret that, and the person was fine with it.
Mhm.
But somebody else at the table, that person's brother, didn't even
Was
like the
not into it.
hint. Did
Yeah.
not even like the hint of it,
Mhm.
and was like, "Well, they're like black, and they're," and I was just like, "Oh, okay, sure." It's like, "Well, they're like a, you know, they're a man too, or something. Like they're androgynous. They could be a man." I was like, "Yeah, I think that my person would be kind of confused and not exactly sure, but it's harmless and kind of sweet or something like that."
Mhm.
And they were very against it because even then the thought of like them making it like, oh, it's gay,
Mhm.
you can't. And I was just like, well, I mean, it's not. They aren't like doing anything bad, and that kind of made it worse that I like called his bluff.
I've had, I think, 3 characters that ended up in like serious relationships with other
Oh
players'
wow.
characters. I've had 2 characters that I like friends of mine who also played our characters got married. Um
Oh wow.
yeah, it's a weird dynamic. Make sure your party's like cool with it, and like always check beforehand.
Mhm.
I with the um with one of the one shots that I played in, they had a rule at their table which I thought was a great rule and immediately stole it. That if your character is interested in a romantic interaction with another player's character,
Mhm.
that needs to be cleared with that other player at least 24 hours before the game. And it
Mhm.
needs to like they need to have like, yes, that's cool, before it would ever be like even moved forward on in the game. Hey, the tentacles are moving.
Okay, I have to change the slides on a different window, which is annoying. But let me do that here then. Okay. Uh, okay, yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, I think I like this. I like this one.
Okay, cool. Uh, and you ain't never had a patron like me. So this
These are all
one,
great, man. I'm into
yeah,
these.
no, I just, I just, it just hit me,
Hmm.
and I just, yeah, I got into a flow state where I was just coming out with these original ideas like left and right, and it just kept happening.
Hmm.
But the adventuring party is tasked with retrieving a family heirloom by a completely trustworthy yet kind of sinister looking royal advisor. So it's one of those things where you can kind of like play with it with your descriptions. Where if
Yeah.
you make them like old and menacing, that's like there's nothing to make them evil or like whatever. But if you know, if you describe a chair too sinister, like people
Yeah, for sure.
distrust the chair type of thing, this will be like, you know, you can kind of have fun and play with like the advisor a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you picture this advisor being kind of ambiguously somewhere between 35 and 60?
yeah. Oh yeah. Like it's one of those where like my favorite thing is when you just go like they're definitely older ish, but not
Hmm.
old enough, maybe.
Right.
And they'll be like, what does that mean? And then you just say yes.
Correct.
You're there, so that you know they have to journey into the desert, so you get to play with another like cool setting. um and they have to go into the mouth of like a tiger cave,
Okay.
and to get like this just mundane whatever.
Hmm.
But they gotta avoid a bunch of traps, they gotta avoid like befriending flying carpets, and they gotta like just not touch
They have to
literally
avoid
anything.
befriending flying carpets.
Well, if you're not supposed to touch anything, you're like making
It
friends,
is That
that
is a
is
good
probably
point. That
not
is a
that,
good point.
you
If you're
know.
not supposed to touch
If
anything,
you're not supposed to touch anything,
you
making friends is
absolutely
probably
shouldn't.
like a proper handshake is like customary if you're making friends. Like, oh, my name
Right.
is so. Oh, you almost got me. Like
Hmm.
it's a thing. It's a
If
thing in
you
there.
if you wore gloves, Could you
hmm
could you just pick everything up?
Uh, if you want to like, if you think you can reason with magic, sometimes
Hmm.
it's one of those things like I'm not picking it up. The glove is picking it up. Like
Hmm.
I don't know. Like, I would say, it really I would say it depends on the enchantment, and you could play with that. So you can
Hmm.
play with how hardcore was whatever enchanted all of this.
Right.
Is it so point
Yeah.
where it's like it's enough to go like, oh yeah, you can kind of like scoop things up, and as long as you're not touching it, you're good?
Hmm.
Or is it so hardcore that if you were to cast like Tensor's floating disc under something to just kind of like wheelbarrow it out, it would still count as you touching because it's your spell? Like how hardcore is the level of like, you know,
100%. I
yeah.
follow.
Yeah. But then like after getting what they're looking for,
Hmm.
they're gonna find that it's not actually a random oil lamp, but a magical genie lamp, right?
I mean, that seems like given.
Yeah.
Like there,
Yeah.
you weren't sent into this cursed cave to get a regular oil lamp.
Yeah. But
It
like,
wasn't. It
they'll play
wasn't the advisor sitting there
the
like, "I'm almost out of oil. Go into
yeah,
this cursed
but
cave."
you need to play up the riz of this like advisor to be like, it's like they really need it for a purpose. Like,
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's the sultan's 80th birthday and we need this family heirloom. It will make them happy. It'll
That's not a
it's like,
good
oh,
purpose.
this I don't know. Like,
I don't know about the
it's
players at your table. If I gave my players the
it,
quest line of,
I
"Hey, you need to go into this cursed cave, risk life and limb to retrieve a birthday present for a billionaire," a lot
I
of my
think
players would
I
say,
I
"Fuck
think
you, guy."
because of all that, it's one of those things where enough money will make it make sense.
Sure. Sure,
Because
sure, sure.
ultra wealthy will pay ludicrous prices for
Absolutely.
things that are like, is this, like, yeah, I love telling people it's just like, all right, if you would get being getting paid like underpaid for this job, what you expect and overpaid, you're up here. Like you're getting paid unbelievably more than you
Yeah.
think this is worth.
I
So
think
that
we've
says,
talked
mhm,
about it on the show before, but like
yeah,
especially for one shots, like
yeah,
a game that will not continue after the like after that one shot,
mhm,
the reward for that can be insane. Like
mhm,
I have used the descriptor "a king's ransom" more than
yeah,
once in describing the amount that somebody was paid for a one shot.
mhm, yeah, yeah. So they find out like that oh, there's a genie in this thing.
Hmm.
Are they trapped inside the magical tiger cave? Did they make it out? Did a monkey touch some treasure? Like, that's all stuff that can or can't, like, whatever's gonna happen.
Hmm.
Um,
That's actually where the term
mhm,
"monkey's paw" comes from.
yes,
Is
it touches some treasure
monkeys
and
like to
and it
touch
messes it
cursed
up.
treasure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, fantastic if you have if anybody ever has a familiar or like they have like an animal
Hmm.
companion, really, really, really nail on the front end
Yeah.
who's in control of
Yeah.
that guy. Because a lot of times I like to just go like, oh, what's your guy doing? What's your
Hmm.
guy doing? Like, but if it's kind of like, well, you tell them what to do and
Yeah.
they just do it, or like, oh, well, they are a
I've
monkey.
I've always been a firm believer in like it is your like
Hmm.
your tool. You can use it
Yeah.
how you want. However,
Hmm.
it is also a creature. It's gonna do things. It's gonna have its own like opinions of you, its relationship with you. Like if you treat a familiar or a an animal companion or something like that, if you're treating them poorly, they're going to be
Hmm.
less and less likely to like want to do stuff for you.
Hmm.
The I had a group once that had a no one in their party could cast Find Familiar. They didn't have
Hmm.
anybody who had the spell, but they really wanted a familiar for like the party. And so I
Hmm.
ended up giving them a ring that could like had a familiar bound to it and like could summon Find Familiar once per day. But it was always the same familiar that would come, and so they would summon it, and the one person was just like not friendly to it would like summon it and have it like go down hallways to see if they were trapped, and like all of this stuff. And so this familiar hated that party member, and the one night the party was like keeping watch, and that party member stayed on watch with the familiar. And the familiar rolled high enough on its perception check to spot the ambush that was coming into the camp, and the guy didn't. And the familiar just didn't tell
Let
him.
it happen. Oh God. Oh boy.
That party member got very upset about it, and everybody else in the party was like, "That tracks. That makes total sense."
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, you have to have a good relationship with your players in order to pull it. But like, I always like a familiar having a bit more personality than just like a random like, oh yeah, this is an animal that I can summon whenever it's convenient, and like I go about my day. It just makes it more fun in my opinion. Anyway, sorry, tangent.
No, I'm with you. Yeah. So yeah, this this genie, it just wants to be your friend. It's gonna be one of those like friendliest patrons ever, and it is like full genie. So you can like you could make it like it's like it's like you could I think that there's two ways you could do it, where it's like the type of Jin where it's like it's not ultra genie powerful, because it'll have these like golden cuffs, right? And if you can like do whatever like you have to like get these golden cuffs off of it, it'll ascend to like ultra patron level genie. You said something really cool about like that shared familiar thing. Whenever I have like somebody with a familiar or there's animal companion, it's always like that person's.
Sure.
And I think it's kind of interesting the way you described it, of like a party familiar, like a Scooby Doo or a Snarf, or like, it's like this thing is like everybody's, like it is almost like the mascot for the party.
Right. Yeah.
And my two examples were Scooby Doo and Snarf from Thundercats. Those are the only two apparently I know. Meowth from Team Rocket. But essentially like just an animal that represents everybody. So like this can be like, a party patron, where it's like it does a little bit. Maybe it can't do it too many times, maybe just like 3, maybe it's just like they got like 3 I got your backs, and that's it.
3
you have
cosmic reshapings of reality. Like
Yeah.
essentially 3 uses of like some crazy powerful like a wish spell or something like that.
Yeah. And so and then once you unlock these bad boys, I could do more. But you gotta unlock them, and you gotta do it via like the power of friendship, or like go to another plane of existence or something, but you gotta do something to like get him out of there.
Awesome.
So you could just like be like, oh cool, we did this thing, we got a cool treasure, we got a flying carpet and a magical genie friend.
I thought we weren't supposed to befriend the flying carpet.
Well, if it happens.
Okay,
but if you circle back, that first guy, SpaghettiOs, what if he's not a great guy? What if he's not like so unassuming? What if he might be what if he might be a bad guy?
He seems bad.
He has a parrot now. So
criminal.
He didn't have a parrot the first time, and then now he does.
No offense to anybody who does have a parrot, but if you are
criminal
a mysterious person giving quests and also you have a parrot, you're either a pirate
if you're not taking care of it properly, because those things live forever.
That's very
true.
Yeah.
It's criminal if you
Feed
are
your
like
familiars.
just like yes, because I know people. It's one of those exotic pets that if you have one and you're just like, oh, it was cool for a while, now I don't want it. That's messed up.
It was cool 6 years ago. Yeah.
What was happening 6 years ago? It's just like I got it when I was home
really,
all the time.
It was really cool when Pirates of the Caribbean 2 came out.
It was really cool when I was home all day for locked up reasons, and now that I have to leave, I have to take care of it, and I'm like, ugh. But yeah,
I come back home every day, and my parrot just yells swear words at me.
Yeah. So this royal advisor turns out like, they're real powerful, like, you know what I mean? So it could be something where you can have a campaign where it's just like kooky fun desert adventures with you and your magical genie friend. And if you've somehow some way given them this flying carpet that's big enough for all of them, then you could like go to fun different locations, and then you have like the B plot of like they're being chased constantly.
Yeah.
there's constantly like a parrot feather, like, there, and there's constantly like, oh man, we fought a big old giant cobra that was
Oh,
mysteriously like the
I
scepter of that one guy,
I
like things
love the
like that.
concept of
Hmm.
a party that is like has abandoned the quest line essentially,
Hmm.
and then they keep finding like a parrot feather,
Hmm.
just kind of like in different places where they are. They just keep finding
Yeah.
them, and then like especially if you didn't show the parrot the first time. If
Yeah.
they haven't seen the parrot
Yeah.
in connection to the dude,
Hmm.
but then like when they do end up confronting the guy, the parrot is like there with him and it all like clicks into place like he was
Like
tracking
there was
us.
there was always, yeah, there was always a parrot like on a building perched or something, just
Mhm.
all real innocuous. Like make parrots really common, like, around everywhere. But then it's like, yo, we were in the fire elemental plane. Was there a parrot? There was a parrot there, wasn't there? That was weird. There was a parrot there. Uh but then you can like have it like, where the big bad boss will eventually be.
Mhm.
And they're gonna be doing whatever they have to try to like get the lamp and get
Right.
that power.
Yeah.
Um but before I go on, what are your thoughts?
Love it.
You feeling it?
Yeah, I'm down. All of these
You
have been
know,
great so far. I'm into
I
them.
love ultra friendly patrons.
Mhm.
I love the ones where it's like, uh, it is so they're so powerful, and
Mhm.
like it's kind of like they're so rich with power
Yeah.
that it's like I could just give it away because why not?
Yeah.
I don't literally need anything back because you can't give me anything that I don't have.
Right.
So
I
I'm
can reshape reality. Like there's
yeah, exactly.
what could you possibly
Yeah.
give me?
What yeah.
Rosie says that it's a very unique idea. It's like a whole new world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a great pitch. I do like
Mhm.
you said like a group patron. I
Yeah.
like that concept a lot of this
Yeah.
like this very incredibly powerful entity, but they
Mhm.
are like tied to
Mhm.
the lamp. And so
Mhm.
they can give like benefits to those around them, but like only while the lamp is there. I like that a lot. It's kind of a
I have
better
done this.
yeah,
I have done this
you've yeah, you've talked about the genie patron that you
yeah.
had.
Yeah, and he could just like full blown like, "You want a pact? Who wants a pact?" And then
Yeah.
I'd just go, "All right, you get a level in Warlock now."
Yeah,
And then you just have to like, "Hey, he might help you out." Yeah.
I love that. I think that it would be a very fun start to a campaign of
Mhm.
they do their first like grouping of things and then it's
Mhm.
like okay like you've gotten the lamp, you've befriended this genie, like he's going to like help you, like everybody we all level up, everybody gets to choose what their next level is, but then
Mhm.
also everybody gains one level of the Pact of the Genie
Ooh, yeah.
warlock
Yeah.
as just a bonus level on top of it.
Yeah.
And then when
Yeah.
people are leveling up, they also like they can choose to like level up in the warlock or their base class. Like it's up to them. I would say also if you really want to like dial it up a little bit, you give them anytime one of the wishes is used, everybody in the party also gains another level of warlock from the genie,
That's good.
so that it keeps getting bigger. And anybody who wants to can like put levels into like becoming a more skilled warlock. But if they ever lose the lamp, like if the bad guy gets his hands on the lamp instead, all warlock levels go away because they no longer have the genie in their party.
You see, this is one of those things where I would play around with mechanic, and I would probably I feel like this is where somebody would call DM shenanigans
Mhm.
because I'd have to explain it then they'd understand, and I would probably get in trouble for not explaining on the front end.
Oh
But
no, I
I
feel like
mm, well, no, no,
like
no, no, no. Well, let me finish
oh, go
because
ahead.
it's just about attunement, right?
Sure. Mhm.
And this is something where, because if we like kind of establish it like it'd be like a group patron type of
Yeah.
thing, I would actually kind of almost make it like a group attunement.
I like the
and
concept of group
and
attunement a lot,
and
Judy.
not like not that you need like, oh, 5 people attuned to it. We need 5 different. No. But let's just say I took the lamp from you and your 3 friends, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I have it yet,
Right.
because I went through a whole big thing of an ogre with an amulet, not amulet, the headband of intellect, and then them taking the amulet, the headband off, and whether or not that makes whether or not removing the headband
Mhm.
makes them, go back to their original
Right,
intelligence or not.
because they are still technically attuned to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think in the moment, the one I did it because it kind of worked out for the story, and I wasn't gonna
Mhm.
like rob the group of like so much planning.
Did you have an ogre with a headband of intellect before Baldur's Gate?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
That's so
actually
funny.
it's in a Candlekeep Mystery.
Oh, nice. Okay.
In the
I
Candlekeep
haven't read that
Mystery,
one. That's probably where they
yeah,
pulled it from then.
it's like there's like there
I
is
was like, that's a
Candlekeep.
crazy coincidence.
Yeah, there's a Candlekeep. There's a like the Candlekeep is like, it's always like it's a big old library.
Mhm.
But it's almost like there's like a like mini town up front.
Mhm.
And in that tavern, they always describe like academics, and then there's like an ogre like chilling with glasses reading a book, and you're like,
Yeah.
what? And it's because he found a thing a long time ago. He ate somebody, ended up with it, and then he regretted it and repents by dedicating himself to academia.
Mhm.
um but that my party saw it and like, I need to get that headband.
Yeah.
And I definitely made him feel bad for it, because I was like, yeah, he's repenting for his sins, and he's really, and they were like, yeah, but we got to get that headband though.
The
It was pretty messed up.
I love the concept of party attunement though. Like
Correct.
the
So it would give them like, if you play with it, like losing something doesn't instantly
right.
mean
Well, there's
detachment.
somebody else would like you would either have to be like fully separated from it. Like it's no
Mm-hmm.
longer like you are nowhere near it.
Mm-hmm.
Or it would need to like somebody else has attuned to it.
Correct. So it
So
would
like
give them like
that
an
hour
hour.
process or whatever.
Correct. So imagine like they lose the lamp, and it's like we lost it, and then just in
They
the
have an
back of all
hour
their
to get it
heads,
back before
yeah,
they're
in
yeah.
the back of their heads, they hear the genie, but now he sounds much further away. He's like, guys, where are you? I'm losing you. I'm losing you, because he's holding on to that little bit of connection.
Right. He's just
Because he's powerful, he
he's
can
holding
spread
on
the
to those
tone.
threads, but
Exactly.
he is
And then it's a
bound to the
fun.
lamp.
Yeah, so you can do a fun like chase, a fun like,
I
mystery
like that a
scavenger
lot.
hunt, whatever it is, but like you can do them having to retrieve the lamp,
That's really
and then
good.
it's like, oh, did we lose it again? Who's gonna whatever? Is it
Mhm.
gonna be here? Can you keep the lamp inside a bag of holding? Because is it an extra dimensional space?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So that means it's got to be like in a regular ass bag, or
Mhm.
just clipped to you, because he likes to breathe.
Mhm.
So it's like one of those things where it's like, man, I keep making it so stealable, and we cannot let this thing get stolen.
Right.
What are we gonna do here?
I
Sovereign glue it to myself?
love that. Because you could give the lamp all sorts of cool properties of like
Yeah.
kind of like a weapon that has the like a short sort of warning where it's like
Mm-hmm.
if somebody tries to steal it, like the
Mm-hmm.
genie's gonna be aware of it and is going to like let the party know because he doesn't want to be separated from the party.
Correct.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I think the this is a tangent, but I like the idea of um party attunement because you could
Yeah.
it could be like for this absolutely makes total sense, but that's a mechanic that you could bring into like just any game of like there are these like every player has their 3 items that they're attuned to,
Mm-hmm.
but also like the party as a whole can be attuned to like certain items, and you can make items that like benefit a group that are
Mm-hmm.
like attuned by the group instead of using up one person's like attunement slot. Because I know
Mm-hmm.
I've been the character in a party that like one of my attunement slots is being used up by something that is to like benefit the group. And it's like that's great. I want the group to be like benefited, but also like I would rather wear like this other magic item that is going to like
Mhm.
specifically help me.
I
um,
think
so
I
if there
think I know how. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say if there's like these group attunement slots that are like a way for the party to essentially have more magic items, especially as you are getting to like higher levels and there's some like crazy like powerful enemies that you're fighting and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it I feel like that'd be a lot of fun, especially because there's so many cool magic items out there.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be I see a lot of my parties that end up having like all these magic items that they're not using because they're like, well, I don't it I can't attune to this one because I need these other ones right now. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, but you want to use that other one. That one's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I love this
I,
concept.
I have an idea which would be kind of like I think it's the perfect go around because once again, ultra powerful being
Hmm.
shackled to the lamp, but still has like a lot of his power. Imagine like the instance where well, there's two mechanics that I would want to introduce. One, he wants to get to know everybody because he's super friendly, and he's gonna realize early on that everybody's gonna see the world differently. So he wants to have the lamp like the closest he can get to it is if like you're all attuned to me, like you're all attuned to the lamp. So we're all gonna have like this, I can kind of talk to you type of thing. Maybe you guys can talk to each other through this shared connection. So you gotta give everybody
Hmm.
a low range message spell, which
Hmm.
is what I always like to do anyway, because like so that way they don't have to worry about metagaming,
Yeah.
like, oh, he can't hear me. Like make it so they can talk to each other, give
Yeah.
them that shared connection, right? But then
As a quest reward, I just gave one of my groups. The whole group now has earrings of sending that.
yep.
It's
Mm-hmm.
only one channel, so like if anything that is
Mm-hmm.
sent in it gets sent to everybody who's wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a
That's
like
good.
it allows them to communicate because they're doing like black ops type missions, which is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Do that, but because he wants to get to know everybody, it's kind of like, well, I want to get a feel for everybody, and
Hmm.
you all see different things. So it's kind of like every day a different party member has to be attuned to the lamp,
Hmm.
and everybody's got to rotate, and it can't be the same person twice in a row. If you're
I like
attuned
that.
to it, if you're attuned to it, you get things. So let's just say you're not a warlock because you didn't want to go that route or something like that. There's gonna
Hmm.
be some boon of just being part of this party, right?
Hmm.
But you got the lamp, you got Eldritch Blast that day because you just shoot that thing out of a lamp. And another thing is the moment you get to the point of like nobody could attune to something, right? Like
Hmm.
you hit that limit of like somebody has to make a decision. You're playing that far out into a campaign. Just imagine this dope dude coming out of the lamp and being like, "Well, hey, why don't I hold it in here and you can use it through me?" And then you start loading the lamp with items that you
Hmm.
want, like you were saying, like the sword of
Oh
warning and stuff like that.
man.
And then if you're attuned to the lamp,
Get
you're attuned to all those things.
he consumes
He
items.
holds them in there for you. He just
Yeah.
holds them in there and you're using them
Well,
through the thing. And then it's like,
you can have it be where he just holds it, where it's essentially a bag that like it's an extra dimensional
mm-hmm.
space where he like holds
Yep.
it, but also like grants those benefits to you.
Correct.
Or
Yeah.
you could say that like he is this incredibly magical being and he like consumes those items but
Mm-hmm.
takes on some of the property of it.
Mm-hmm.
So like you found this short sword of warning and you're like nobody wants to be attuned to this item.
Mm-hmm.
You He can take it, consume it, and the lamp takes on this property of
Yeah.
the warning, so you no
Yeah.
longer have access to the that short sword in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But the lamp bestows this ability.
Yeah.
um
Let's just say there's a there was always like a decorative pattern around
mhm.
like the base of the lamp and like on
The
the lid,
runes just
and now
change
the
and
runes
yeah.
change to like match whatever magic markings would be on that item. You know what I mean? So if it's
Yeah.
like like, oh yeah, I'm trying to think of like slippers of spider climb don't
Mhm.
like need attunement, but just imagine it's like I'm holding the lamp. Like imagine tossing the lamp as a bonus action or as
Mhm.
your action so your rogue can run on the wall to run
Mhm.
up and get above the person so they can do a thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
Like the
even
alley oop
items
of
that
like,
don't
I need it for this.
require spider climb would
Mhm.
still be items that like you may want to have the lamp consume
Yeah.
because like they like I could then have spider climb and also boots of elven kind or stuff like that,
Yeah.
and I can just
Yeah.
like run up the walls and stuff, and it
Yeah.
becomes this thing of like, when a party has hit that point where they're like, we have
Hmm.
so many magic items, we don't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
You just like start feeding them to the lamp. The lamp keeps
Yeah.
getting bigger, and then it's like it has to be held by a different person each day. So it's rotating
Yeah.
through the party
You
so that
rotate it
one
out,
person has like crazy boons every day.
and
Um,
it's yeah, and it's just you rotate. So like it also everybody has to keep on their toes. Where it's like, it's like, do we wait because we really need him to have this to
right.
be whatever? Like, it's not going to help if either one of us have it. And you could run into the trap of like, oh, two people keep alternating back and forth. But I think after that's done like once or twice, you could almost have
The
like,
the party
mm-mm,
is going to
uh-uh.
want to
Everybody's gonna
like,
wanna
yeah,
rotate, yeah.
yeah.
But if you ran into that scenario of like, two people are like, "Oh, gaming it," the third guy's like,
Hmm.
"Oh, I actually don't need it." Yeah, rotate it, you 2. That's better for min-maxing, that's gonna
Hmm.
help us power level, power grind. You could the genie, they're not the genie patron. They're not,
Right.
he's gonna have its own personality, and you could be like, "Uh-uh, I
Right.
wanna get to know David." And then, you just like you
Well,
just like be like, "I
if you
wanna be
want to
attuned
be,
to David."
you could even take it a step above the table, and like every day, the GM rolls to see who the lamp is willing to attune to, and like the
Interesting.
lamp chooses who
Like
is
a
like
vibe check?
who it's connected with that day.
Who it's feeling with?
Um,
Okay. And
the
if you do that, then I would recommend to anybody that's doing something like that. It's more work, but it makes sense to keep track.
Mhm,
Make a little spreadsheet. Just have like lines of or whatever, so that way you're not accidentally hitting people to an unfair amount.
mhm,
Playing favorites or anything like that. Because it's that is the solid middle ground, I think, to make it work the most fair. Otherwise, it's you either gonna have to hope for the group that's like they're intentionally like, oh, passing it back and forth because it's so cool and we want us all to do it
mhm,
until it's like a real like serious point, and then they might try to, because if a group is doing it like that, then it seems like they used it for fun and to progress the story and that this relationship, and now they're trying to take reap the rewards of that
right,
connection by like gaming. That's okay versus right out the get-go seeing how they can abuse a thing
right,
and just go, we're just alternating back and forth, and like because then it feels like, all right, come on guys, like the way this is supposed to work.
mhm,
So make it like it's either chart or hope for the group where it's going to share type of thing.
yeah. I
Yeah.
like that. I like that a lot. You could also like have it be a situation where they are like giving uh like you give these items to the lamp. It bestows properties of those items to the
Hmm.
like the person that is like attuned to
Hmm.
it that day.
Yeah.
But when it hits like a certain level or something like that, you could be like, okay, some of these benefits are now extended to everyone in the
Yep,
party.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, if they all can hit that threshold, maybe they can throw that warning a little
Mhm.
further, or they can
Oh, make
like
it
a cantrip. Everybody can do a little cantrip. Hmm.
one of the Eldritch invocations. Make it an
Mm,
Eldritch invocation that
that's
is
not bad.
like
Yep.
share in the blessing or something like that. That
Hmm.
like if you level up Warlock to the point where you get Eldritch invocations and then you like use one of them to choose like this share in the blessing sort of thing, like
You can use
any
the
benefits that
without
the
without
lamp is
having the lamp.
expending is
Oh
extended to you
man,
even though you're not attuned to it.
there's one I would what I would do for that is
It would need
it
to be a
would be
higher level invocation. Like it would
it would
need to
need to
have
be a
a
higher
level
level.
specification.
But I would for funsies try to make sure that along their journey they've gotten items that need charges.
Hmm.
And if they do get to the level where they're like using the lamp and sharing that wand of fireballs type of thing,
Hmm.
I would do the caveat of they're all sharing the charges of
Oh,
whatever it
100%.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it
100%.
is, it's all like using the thing.
Yeah.
I also can't wait for like somebody to throw an immovable rod inside
It takes
that
on the
thing.
property of a movable and just you can't move it anymore.
Oh god, locking that lamp into place and in places. Oh, that's gonna be so
The
fun.
I do think important caveat to like feeding the items to the lamp is that the lamp
Mhm.
would not take on like all the properties of it, and I don't think you,
Mhm.
like, as a player, I don't think you would have control over which properties are picked up.
Interesting.
Like you feed the item to the lamp, and then the GM decides what from that item is taken by the lamp. It doesn't take
Okay.
everything. It takes on some element of that item. Because
Interesting.
otherwise it'll become a situation of, why wouldn't we just feed every magic item we come across to this lamp
Mhm.
in exchange for everybody has access to every item without having to attune to it?
Well, I guess the counter to that is they need to be attuned to it. So yeah, we can feed all our items to it, but then nobody has anything except for one of us. So you're putting all your eggs in one
But if they all
basket.
take that invocation where they can, like, share in that
Eh,
blessing,
but
then
you made it so they have to
everybody has the
like they have to
stuff.
go higher. So make it like a higher level thing
Sure.
where it's like I think that a lot of I think isn't the rule not the rule, but like the unfortunate reality that like a lot of campaigns don't really go past 12 or 15.
Yeah.
I would make it like that level, like in that range. It's like a top tier, it's up there.
Hmm.
But then don't start your campaign at level 8. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like this
This
is an
this
early
feels
campaign.
like a this feels like a I think this is a campaign you start at level 3,
Mhm.
have them go through, they get the lamp, make their original, like, pact agreement thing with the lamp. Uh once they escape the cave, they
Mhm.
get their, like, 4th level in whatever they were doing, but also free bonus 5th level of, like, 1 level in Warlock.
Yeah.
And then, like, progress from there.
Oh, that'd be so like I thought of this earlier. I meant to mention it. Like every time they level, they will if as long as they're like building that solid relationship with
Mhm,
the genie and taking their turn with the lamp and just kind of like even if it's not like they're the most down for it, but just they're active participant,
mhm.
no matter what, when they level, they always get a level in Warlock. Or if they're so down for the Warlock, they get a double Warlock. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, where if
Because if
they I like the idea of, if you choose to put a level into Warlock, extra level of Warlock.
correct, you're always gonna get one just by osmosis,
Mhm,
but it makes it so they all get something from being friends and being a part of this thing,
mhm,
but you only get that level 12 or 15 thing
mhm.
if you invest yourself.
What if we
So like, you
I
can
don't know how
it
many
is
other,
potentially be
like,
abused, but
pitches you have.
no,
Um,
no, this is it, this is
this is the
it,
last one? Awesome. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What if you do, because invocations are what, 2nd level?
I think so?
If invocations are 2nd level, then you could say, let me go back to just our video here.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
If invocations are 2nd level, then you could say that, at 2nd level, when you get access to invocations,
Mhm,
the, like, share in the blessing invocation
mhm.
is there. You have the option to take it at 2nd level. It is the only level that you have the option to take it at. And it doesn't do anything until later level.
Uh,
You have to make the choice early of, like,
mm,
the genie is essentially asking you to invest back into it.
hmm. I I think it would be interesting is and then once again, more work for the GM at this point,
Mhm.
but they only get Eldritch vocations at the 2nd level, and then there isn't like another like, hey,
They get new ones.
they get new ones, but they don't get to like
Let's see here.
swap them out, add new ones or
Warlock.
anything like that. It's just they get
Um they get more invocations. They get 2 invocations at 2nd level.
yeah.
They get a 3rd one at 5th level, a 4th one at 7th, a 5th one at
Oh,
ninth.
I'm dumb. Okay, I see it now. Okay.
6 of them at 12, 7 at 15, 8 at 18th.
Then what I would say is, I would kind of like do that math of like dividing that into like tiers.
Mhm.
And then if you want to do like a early, like almost like it's like an artificer,
Mhm.
you know how the artificer can he can like make infusions, right? And
Mhm.
then he can make whatever, and that list gets better as it
Mhm.
goes on. They can get common items in at that early one, and as they
Mm.
connect it, they can draw like almost like your bandwidth is better, and you can,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like, oh man, I wish I can get that sun sword, but I can't because my connection isn't
Right.
strong enough.
Yeah.
So I have to like develop it, and then eventually they can like, and that like I imagine if like a cool sword was ever put into the thing,
Mhm.
it's not almost like lightsaber, like they have to hold the lamp and it like shoots out the lamp like that.
Yeah.
But if you could share that, then it's like your weapon becomes fiery if that was the
Mhm.
kind of weapon that was there. But like if
It
it's
would
like
be
they can touch it, then it would be an item infusions type of chart where it's
sure.
like whatever they can touch it because they getting that boon, that connection,
You could
and
also do it
work towards it.
where
Yeah.
um the like part of that like sharing the blessing thing
Hmm.
is at second level if you choose to take it, you get no benefits from it at second level. But going forward, it whenever if you like when you level up, if you choose to like put the level that you're receiving into warlock, you get the bonus level of warlock on top of it. So you essentially double level warlock every time you level with that thing.
Mm.
This is also like when we're talking about like double leveling, that gets
Yeah.
extremely powerful extremely quickly.
Yes. Yeah.
Like when we're talking about doing that, this is like absolutely a campaign that you're running with the intention of reaching high levels fast.
Yeah, yeah. Especially
And
if like there you have a big boss in mind,
yes.
you can make it like, "Oh, I wanna see different planes," and,
Hmm.
so you can really, like, really
When you're like, I
globetrot. You
want to
can
deal
really
with those
yeah,
high, like powerful, intense things,
yeah,
but like I don't want this to be a 3 year long campaign.
yeah. Uh, I thought of, something else too. Imagine not DM inspiration, but genie inspiration,
Ooh.
where, like, imagine, like, you do something and it's, like, once again, quick potentially quick to be abused, but something where it's like you do something for the genie, you have an interaction with the genie, and then he just gives you like you have a tattoo or an
Hmm.
earring or a little like, here you go, I like sharing this with all you. And once again, you got to make it so it's not you're playing favorites, but then it's like a quickie, you got a one-off use of something. Like something that's in the genie jar, you know what I mean? And it's just
Hmm.
like, oh, I'm gonna pull that sun sword out this time, like I got one in the bank.
Yeah.
Um, but like,
Well, you could
patron inspiration.
if there's a ton of items that have been like fed to the
Hmm.
genie, you could very
Hmm.
easily have a set number of them that come out each day.
Yeah.
Ooh, make tie the number of items that the genie is able to bestow benefits from to the number of like players and like milestones they've reached in the leveling. Do
Mm.
it like stretch goal
Oh
like
yeah,
tier
yeah, yeah,
systems
yeah.
of like, okay, well we have like all 5 members of the party have taken at least 2 levels of warlock. They've taken the eldritch invocation, so now it bestows like 4 different things. And
Hmm.
if everybody hits like 3 levels, then like it bestows 6 things now, and like it just grows in power with the amount of people that are like feeding power back into it.
Yeah, yeah.
And like the more items you sacrifice, the more like slots that open up to it and stuff.
Hmm.
I that's This has the ability to be a very, very cool central campaign mechanic. Like a
Hmm.
whole campaign built off of that. The uh yeah, I like that a lot, especially because it has the with if you do it that way where like it's all tied to the genie. So if you lose the genie, you lose all of it. Like
Oh
you've
yeah.
you
Oh
lost the
definitely. Yeah.
magic items, you lost your levels, like you've done all of this
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So if you
Mm-hmm.
have a situation where like the party has invested a bunch of magic items and a bunch of levels and stuff into this,
Mm-hmm.
and like the genie has become very powerful from it,
Mm-hmm.
and then they lose the lamp, they've lost all that stuff. So it could be a really good way to do a like um do some of that like high level crazy stuff and then knock them back down,
That's exactly
and
what I
have
was
to like
thinking. Yeah.
climb their way back
I
up. Like you can be crazy
I
crazy generous with the magic items and
yeah.
stuff in the early campaign, because they're going to go into this thing and then it's going to be like taken away. And like I love a campaign that like hits a point where the players are like, we're going to challenge God, and then they're just like humbled into the dirt where they're like,
Yeah.
oh, we have nothing again. I have one of my groups, Elliot, his group, they were like pretty high level, had like a ton of items, just an insane number of magic items, and like a crazy amount of gold and everything. And they ended up uh essentially dying, and then they were put their spirits were put backwards in time into their bodies like years prior to try and
Mm-hmm. Oh
prevent
yeah. Yeah.
this
Yeah. Yeah.
this thing. They're like
Mm-hmm.
quantum
Yeah.
leaping, but
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
were just
Yeah.
put
I
into
remember. Yeah.
themselves. But because they were put back into that, they're still their own levels. Like they are like level
Mm-hmm.
9 or 10 or something like that.
The
um
experience. Yeah.
but the bodies that they were put into are like, they're very early in the campaign, so they have
Mm-hmm.
like 3 or 4 magic items amongst the party.
Mm-hmm.
And like they have the high level abilities, but they don't have the equipment to go along with
Back it
that.
up.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
like those low level, those low CR monsters are a threat again,
Yeah.
because they're like, if they get ambushed by goblins, like a stray arrow can cause some real serious damage to a wizard who has no magic items.
Eh, eh,
It's
Yeah.
just, it's fun to see player like it. You have to have the right group for it, because some groups will not enjoy that process. And
Yeah.
absolutely like know your group and like have a conversation with them before you would ever like pull something like that. But if you have the right group for it, it can be a lot of fun to like, because I've had a lot of groups that have gotten to a certain level, and I think you said earlier that like around 12th level is when a lot of campaigns fizzle
Yeah.
out. I think of a lot of that is by the time a party hits 12th level, they have so many items and so many
Yep.
abilities and
Mm-hmm.
so many spells, and the like the threats get bigger and more wild,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like the believability of the situations go down, because by the time you're like a 15th level character, like
Mm-hmm.
you're probably not going to be hunting a Tarrasque or a Lich yet, but short of that, like
Yeah.
there's a
You can
there's a
do
lot of stuff
magic.
that's like,
Yeah.
you can go hunt a like a dragon for fun at that level, because like
Mm-hmm.
why not? And then like you've killed a dragon and you take its hoard, and now you have even more gold than you know what to do with. Those in a campaign where you hit, where you're getting close to that wall, if you can do like soft reset of like,
Yeah.
they lose their gold, they lose their items, they like are
Oh,
knocked
it's worse
down a
if they
little bit.
use the lamp. Imagine like he because I imagine the genie using the lamp like demonstratively. Like it's just
Mhm,
like, oh, if you guys want to just put the money in here, you can. Like, and he demonstrates like this thing is like a bag of holding, and just them putting money in it whenever they need money, they pour it out like a gravy boat. That would be
mhm,
funny as a running gag.
mhm.
But like for everybody, like
But
what
if
Hunter's
it's
describing of
but
like
if it's gone,
that bait and switch
yeah.
of but like you go back and forth because you don't want to like you don't want to just like finish it because you do want to pay off, like you don't want to
Mhm,
like ruin your player's day and make it seem like I was building this up to punish you, but you do the levels, the items, uh always make it seem like, oh, you should have all your items in here, you're obviously going to want something on you, but the shared things, the
mhm,
storage, all that fun stuff, and then a little bit like a like they could prevent it, because you always want to give them the option, but like a you're gonna steal the thing You're gonna take it for them. Whatever's gonna happen is
Mhm.
gonna be taken from them. And just like imagine them finding the bad guy, assuming that he would be able to do all the things they could with the lamp, only for that guy to discover they only are able to do it because they built the relationship with them,
Mhm.
and he would be starting at 0.
Mhm.
So imagine him going, "I wanna do this with this. I want you to do this. I wanna be able to I've seen them do it." And then he's
Oh,
like,
you
"I
could
don't know you, dude.
it
I
could be it
can't
could be
do
that
that with you even
the
if I
bad
wanted
guy
to."
could also, like, be, like, watching the party and
Mhm.
intentionally letting them, like he knows
Oh,
where
yeah,
they're at.
assuming
He
that he's
knows the
making
item,
yeah,
and he's, like,
yeah,
watching the party just
mhm,
invest into this thing that he's like,
yeah,
"I'm gonna take that
yeah,
and, like, have the benefits of all of this stuff." And I would think that, like, the items, like, if the items were consumed by the lamp, like, that's part of the magic of the lamp, like,
yeah,
he
yeah,
probably gains those
yeah,
abilities, but, like, the levels, the
yeah.
boons, like, stuff like that, those don't, pass
Correct.
over.
So even if he's like, "Well, you know what? Give me that gem that they put in there." It's like,
Mhm,
"I can't give that to you. Like, that's
right.
not the way
It's
this works."
it's
And
consumed.
and so what you do is you make the bad guy the level all the party would be without like the right difficulty that they would be
Mhm,
without the warlock levels and hard. You know what I mean?
yep,
A hard magic-y type of thing. You
mhm,
could do layer actions, all that fun stuff. And then the fun switch again because obviously you're gonna have to go up and down. It's like, oh no, we went down and got stolen. We're fighting to overcome this, and they
mhm,
do it, and then it's gonna be that classic bad guy. He goes to a back room. He's like, I didn't want to have to do this, and he pulls out a wish scroll, and he's
mhm,
gonna just crush it in his hands, and then he's gonna turn into that big old powerful ultra boss monster.
mhm,
But you guys have the lamp back, and then the
mhm,
genie comes out in between all of you, and he's like, I'm here. Let's do this. And then they all
mhm,
go back to all their levels and they get all their stuff and then maybe a bonus level for getting them back. But
mhm.
then it's like we're as strong, a little stronger than before, and this is the boss fight. Maybe
You
even do
give
like
you give the boss a second form, like,
yeah.
it
Mhm.
has new abilities, it has all its
Yeah.
health back, like, all of this stuff, but you also give, the players get all of their, like, warlock stuff back. They as a party, anybody who had taken that
And
stuff
then just
gets their things again, but then also they all are marked as having taken a long rest.
I was just about to say, like,
Yeah.
he comes back and he's just like, "Guys, this is all I can do for you right now
Mhm,
that's extra," and then he just refreshes them all,
mhm.
with maybe a musical number, but, like, he is going to, like,
Well,
just
you've never
make
had a
them
friend like
all
him.
never had a friend like him, and he's just going to, like, refresh all of you, and there's this thing that I know we've talked about doing magic stuff, like,
Mhm,
talking about magic mechanics and types this whole time,
mhm,
I mean, like, for other episodes, but, like, this is the one where it makes it the easiest because there's a conduit between all of them. Just imagine the wizard going, "I'm out of spell slots," and
mhm,
then, like, the druid or the paladin, like, makes eye contact with the genie, and then
mhm,
the genie puts a hand on like, the paladin's shoulder and a hand on the wizard's head, and then the paladin gives a smite or does something, and it goes through the genie into the wizard. And
mhm,
then it's like the genie can transfer your spell slots for you
mhm,
because you're connected through the genie. You can't do
mhm.
it otherwise. You couldn't do it before, but, like, it would be
And it's not
something
something that is, like, available forever, but, like,
I
in
imagine a
this
final I
moment.
imagine a final boss fight, he's, like, hovering almost like as, like, another, like, character on the map.
Yeah.
It's like you can not throw things through him, but, like, if you need to do a spell slot through him type of
This
thing, he
is
might be able to do it for you.
you would have to make sure that they still have, like, some form of, like, crazy magic left. Of,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
would I would say, like, you wanna make sure that the party doesn't just use up all of their wishes up front,
Yeah.
because, like, it would be important that that bond is still there. So I would say, like, that first wish should be, like, something important. And then after that wish, like, they shouldn't be using it,
Mhm,
again, because in a perfect world, you want this fight to be second wish.
mhm.
And they wish for, like, this sort of recharge and allows the genie to tap into that like otherworldly energy
Wh-
to give
What
them
if
that ability.
what if there's a running gag where the genie is just like he's looking out for you,
Hmm.
and he could have granted a wishes this entire time, and so he'll grant the first one, and then every subsequent wish, unless it's like a meeting or like a dumb like 30 something persuasion check or something
Hmm.
like that, is them pitching wishes, and he's like, no, I don't know about that
It's
one.
like Shark
It's just like
Tank but wishes. Uh,
exactly, and the DC gets lowered with the situation, your
mhm.
affection level, all that stuff, and now this situation is optimal for,
I
"Can this be our wish?" And he's like, "You're right. Yeah, this is definitely that time for our
I
wish." And
I
then that's
like
when he lets it,
the
but it's he chooses what wishes to let you
yeah.
do.
I like the idea of a genie who isn't bound and like
Correct. He's your
has
friend.
to.
He's your friend. He's
Um,
looking out for you. He doesn't want you to waste a wish.
right,
He's not gonna let you waste it on riches or world
right.
peace. No.
Yeah.
No, you
Um,
like, what's gonna work for you, man? What's my guy? He's trying to look out for you.
yeah. The question I think that we need to address at the end of this then,
Is he wearing
because
pants?
I
I think it's that smoke trail, like
if a genie was
90% of
wearing
the time.
pants, would it wear like one long pant sleeve down that like smoke trail, or would it have two legs?
It's got a
Um,
belt to hold up the smoke trail.
the
He skipped leg day, so it's kind of embarrassing.
we've gone over, we always do.
Yeah.
But I think one important question then is the as because GM's plan, but
Mhm.
like those plans can end up not having any like
Mhm.
anything come from them. I think the question is, do you plan for that third wish is to like set the genie free, like unbind him from the lamp?
Mhm.
And that's like the big thing. Um, or do you plan on the third wish is like this end fight and like it's being used to like help the party and stuff
I
like that?
I know.
Um,
Yeah.
or do you plan on it being like there's not really a limit to the number of wishes he can grant, but like he has to actually be like convinced to do them?
Mhm.
Do you do it where the genie is like not not really bound to the lamp, that's just his vessel that he like communes through? Like
I
I guess is the
I have
genie
a
bound to the lamp?
I have a heartwarming, I don't want, I hope it's not sad. This is one of those things that Junie doesn't think sounds sad, but then it might be sounding sad. Um, you on the front end say he doesn't know why he's shackled here. He's
Got
glad
it.
he's here. He wants to see more. He wants to learn and experience more. And through very, very specific, like insight and perception checks, I think after the first wish and as they're leveling up, I think that they would probably see those shackles like getting cracked or weaker,
Mm,
and then something along the lines, even if like in the front end or like, yo, let's just not, yo, can we wish for you to be free? Is like, no, that doesn't work. I don't know. I wouldn't. Why should I be free? And he doesn't think that he like deserves it,
mm,
or he does like something, some sort of character flaw trait or something like that is like he is, he doesn't want to let go. These
yeah,
shackles are not shackles in the sense of holding him prisoner. They're tying him to his friends. Because a patron usually,
I
oh,
like
genie
that.
patron usually ends up like staying where they are and he could pop
Mhm,
in.
mhm.
He doesn't just get to chill here all the time. You know what I mean?
I
So it's like the last wish has to be him going, you guys can visit me anytime you want now. Because you guys are that strong. You guys can. And I'm
I
not letting you go
love the
forever.
idea of like the wishes, the him being there is almost self-inflicted.
Hmm.
Of like he's not there because of
He
like
forgot why he came. He
he's not
forgot why it's
imprisoned or
like it's
something
just been
like that.
so long. Yeah.
He's like he put himself there.
Yeah.
Um
Hmm.
and then like or maybe it's a like a similar to like Beauty and the Beast, where it's like a curse of like you need to learn how to love and
Is
like
that a movie or is that
earn
a
the
story?
it's a
Is
reference
that a
to your
song?
first pitch. You need to learn how to
That's a
love, or
good
you need
title. I don't know
to
if that, we need to check, see if that's done. If, hold on.
you need to learn how to love, or you need to like learn like earn the love of others. Like
Mhm.
you need to make you need to be worthy. And it's not a journey of him like being a prisoner and needing to be let free. It is a journey of him not feeling like he is worthy to return. And through the bond with the party, he he feels that worthiness return. He feels like he is like learned what he was meant to learn. He's made these
Yeah.
bonds and he's ready to return to like his home plane. But
Yeah.
he's not shackled here
Yeah.
and doesn't need like a wish doesn't need to be used to free him.
Yeah. And it's more of like the sentiment of it, like, would be the thing to like let him go, do the last thing, whatever it is, whatever epilogue
Oh,
type of wish you want to do.
you
But
could do it
like,
where the third like the party feels like the third wish needs like the first two wishes are used prior to the lamp being taken, and they have the intention of like the third wish is going to be used to like free the genie. And then the lamp gets taken, and then they have that fight, and the genie like in that fight is like, you need to use the third wish. Like like you need to like it you freeing me doesn't matter if you don't survive this fight. And so they use the third wish to like save themselves and make sure that they are able to stop the bad guy. And then afterwards those shackles still break, because what the genie needed to do was like be willing to sacrifice his own freedom essentially for the good of the party. It's like this reversal of the lesson of like it's not the party that needs to learn to like let him go. It's the genie that needs to learn that like he is all powerful, but like that power doesn't have a purpose if he doesn't have something worth like investing into.
Imagine like the shackles on the inside. It says like a cool engraved or like so no one can see it, not even himself. But like it's like earn the freedom that you like. Let yourself let yourself earn the freedom that you deserve, or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? It's almost like it's just like let yourself be loved
Yeah.
type of thing. Like
Yeah.
let yourself be free and let these shackles fall. Like some
the
sort
shackles fall off, and inside is engraved in celestial, the real prison was the friends we made along the way.
That's pretty funny.
Oh man.
Okay. So these were like, yeah.
This started as like a little like some goofy nonsense stuff. I think we stumbled on something really good.
Yeah.
Like I want
yeah.
to fully flesh this out and
Yeah.
fully run this. This is
Your
like
boy, I did it again, y'all. I delivered.
Junie has the amazing ability to start something with the like goofiest little bit, and then it evolves into something that neither of us anticipated. And
An
love
exploration
that.
of the human condition.
Yeah.
Uh,
we dove into some deep topics today, y'all.
yes. Yes.
No, I genuinely love that.
Yeah.
I
A
think
crab
that
that's
is
like, see me now, forgive me later. And it's just like it's just handsome axe woodsman tentacles all over the place.
Yeah.
That's a wall. I don't know why I did that, but I was like, hey.
It on the stream, it just looks like you pointed up at me.
Ooh, yeah, all right,
like,
perfect.
Tentacles all over the place. Hunter, we know you like those.
Am I right, my guy?
On that note, I think we have to end. We have to stop immediately.
Yeah. we're
gonna get just immediately banned from Twitch over that sound.
Yeah, that's flagged. I apologize, everyone.
Thank you everybody for for being here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was a lot of fun. This was a very like a very fun topic for me to noodle around on. So thank you for prepping that, Junie. I appreciate it.
Rosie redeemed, this is a family show. Don't worry, all these campaigns will be rated like PG.
Yeah, some of them probably G.
Mhm.
This was a lot of fun, Junie. Thank you for prepping this. I
Mhm.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Um,
I didn't take these from any specific type of media, but if
mhm,
I think if I did this again, it'd be from a completely different type of media I wouldn't be stealing from.
sure.
So this is something I'd like to revisit,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
do a few different types of totally original ideas to come back to. Um,
The yeah, there's a lot of different like media out there to not steal from.
mhm,
So I look forward to a future revisiting. But I think we stumbled on some stuff that's very, very fun. And especially the fact that we ended by just a very long conversation about warlock packs feels very on
mhm.
brand for us.
Correct.
So
Yes.
thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time. Junie, do you have any calls to action for this week? I'll
Yeah.
throw it over to you.
Yeah. Despite Hunter giving me this at 2:30 in the morning, it was a real solid idea, man. Um, nobody
Unacceptable.
blame nobody blame him.
Unacceptable.
Nobody blame him. Sometimes when inspiration to command somebody to do something hits you, you got to let them know they got to do it. Um, so what you the three calls to
Yes.
action. One is treat all of your possessions this week with care.
Hmm.
I know that uh what is it? I know that I've heard like my father-in-law, like, it's like your car will love you back if you take care of it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, so it's just like go clean your car, go make sure like your stove is clean. Like just treat your stuff as if it may have been alive and you're not just leaving a sentient thing to be filthy and
Yeah.
uncared for. Take care of
Leave
all
it
your
better than you
stuff.
found it. Sort of vibes.
Correct.
Yeah.
So take care of all your things, show them a little TLC, and you'll feel good about it.
Hmm.
Even if it's not like, oh, a functional, oh, if my stove is clean, I don't have to worry about
Yeah.
food. I mean, you'll feel better.
Well,
Um,
and for people like myself who struggle with like task paralysis and stuff like that, um, improvement can be one step.
mhm,
Like if you don't have the energy for like I had a conversation with my wife over the weekend where I was talking about like ways for me to better like help make sure that things are clean and stuff, and like the way that I process tasks is
mhm.
can be
Yeah,
very overwhelming. And so like one step, it doesn't need to be
yeah.
a like my kitchen right now is a mess. I need to clean up the kitchen, but it's over like that's 7, 8, 9 tasks in my head.
I
It can be
I
just
I
it can be just the next one.
am I want to give you a hug right now. I totally understand, man.
Yeah.
That's my den right now.
Hmm.
My wife, like we have the kitchen was just like that this weekend, but we've
Hmm.
had baby showers and other things
Yeah.
like working on. So like it got to that point, but like we don't. I don't. It's and the thing is, for like, and I don't want to speak for you because I don't know what your internal demon struggle is.
Hmm.
I know for me, I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm not
and
it's not like I'm
it
like, "Oh, I
stresses
like
me
it
out
like this."
more.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah, I'm not like, "I
anytime there's
like
a
this
yeah,
like this."
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Um,
you know what I mean? It's
but
like,
it can be one step. Like it can be
correct. Mhm.
I the way I was talking about it with Grace yesterday was like because I look at every task as like it's not just
Oh.
task
Oh.
A, it's task A B C D E
Oh,
F G H. They're
yes,
all
and
connected.
everybody's like,
Um,
"Why are you overthinking it?" And I was like, "How do you not see all of
right.
that?" Yeah.
So like
Oh.
the for me, like if I want to do the dishes, I need counter space in order to like put all of the dishes
Mhm.
aside and like organize them so that I
Mhm.
can like have access to the sink and start washing them. In
Mhm.
order to do that, I need to clear off the counters. In order to do that, I
Mhm.
need to take out the trash. In order to take out the trash, I'm gonna need to make sure that there's like space in the trash bins. I'm gonna need to put a new bag in.
Mhm.
Like there's tasks, they umbrella
Yeah.
out.
Mhm. You see the whole thing. Yeah,
Do
I feel you. I understand.
do the first one.
Do it.
Figure out
Yeah.
where like let your if you have that like neurodivergent nonsense in your brain like I do, let that run and go, okay, if I want to do that, what do I need to do first? Okay, I need to do that first. Cool. What do I need to do before I do that? I need to do that. Cool. What do I need to do before I do that? And go until you hit something that you're like, there's nothing I would have to do before that one. And do that thing. Do that one
Mm.
thing. And then if that one thing then gets you on gets the ball rolling and you're like, okay, cool. Well, I've got energy because I like accomplished a task. Move on to the next one. But if you like complete that one and you're like, okay, my like energy for tasks is
Mhm.
used up, that's fine. Do the next one next time. Chip away at those things.
Okay. That was so yeah.
That was a
Number
long
one,
first call to action.
first call to action: take care of your stuff and yourself at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. I like that
If you're
all of our calls to action recently have been very like, hey, take care of yourself and like
Yeah.
do stuff that
Mhm.
you need to like
do
we're
things,
a
yeah.
nonsense show, but like really take care of yourself. Make sure you're okay.
Yeah, yeah. The second thing
Mhm.
is just plan what your perfect beach day would look like.
Ooh.
It might
Yeah,
not be
summer's coming
what
up.
you're yeah, it's you might not be able to go to the beach next week, but
Mhm.
it's I'm not a beach person.
Yeah.
I'm not the type to be like I'm just gonna go sit out there and read a
Mhm.
book. My wife would just like to go do that. I'm like, well, today, how early are we going out? Are we gonna get them whatever? I don't not a huge fan of sand, but just like plan out what
Yeah.
it would look like so that way if it does arise or you think like, hey, we're gonna have some vacation time or some, whatever, maybe you could organize a day with your friends, but just
Yeah.
plan out what it would look like.
Yeah.
And if it's something where you can get people involved, then it might be a fun little project with people.
Mhm.
So plan perfect beach day.
When I was little, in the house that I like grew up in,
Mhm.
there was a day where I didn't know what seasonal depression was, but I absolutely had it.
Oh.
And was like little like 9-year-old Hunter was like, I miss the sun and warmth.
Oh.
And I went into our basement and took out space heaters and a bright lamp and put on my swimsuit and laid on a towel on the floor in the basement surrounded by space heaters with a lamp above me that it looks like the sun. And I was just like, I am at the beach. And I put on like white noise of like the ocean and
Wow.
birds and stuff. I hate the beach. I don't like the beach at all. It is one of my least favorite like vacation locations. But like uh those like just I like it theoretically. In
Mhm.
theory, I like the beach. I like all of the elements of the beach. When they're together, less of a fan. But yeah, I like that one. Plan out your perfect beach day. Just play around with it. Think of like what does that entail? Figure out what would you pack for food? What drinks would you want on the beach? What
Mm.
are
Yeah.
like which
Whole
which
thing, yeah.
beach towel would you bring? What bathing suit
Yeah.
are you packing? Are you
Would you
planning
get a
on
new
going in
one?
the water? Um
Yeah.
yeah, I like that.
And then finally, um, get in touch with your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get in touch with them. Uh, Earn some levels. There are some friends that,
XP grind.
yeah, because
Yeah.
there's some levels. There's some friends that like you never lose levels in
Yeah.
friendship with. You reach
Those are
out
the
for them
best
and
kind of friends.
you pick up exactly
Yeah.
where you left off. And there's others that if you don't get in touch with them a lot, it's not that it just goes away, but, you can feel it. You can
Mhm.
feel the difference. So, either reach out to some people that you haven't, reached out to in a while or, the ones you can, just whenever. But, yeah, talk to some of your friends,
Yeah.
sing
Huge
some songs with
huge
them or
shout
something.
out to one of my very very good friends. I'll use character names so that people can't find him. But shout out Mirthwind. The
Mirth, Wind, and Fire? What?
Mirth, Wind, and Fire. Yeah. The he was one of my groomsmen. We were
Mhm.
we were great friends in high school. My first like uh official big game of D&D we played in his basement for his birthday. Like we've been friends for forever, but like he lives nowhere near me anymore. And like it's difficult to like get to see him. But like anytime we chat, anytime we hang out, like I immediately feel that same like just great friendship. It's just that like, hey, things have changed for both of us. Our lives are vastly different than they were as sophomores in high school. But like the bond is still there, and we pick up where we left off. When I moved, he came up for an event one year, and it was right after I had like moved back into the area, so I was living at my mom's place again. And he came up for the event, and so he came over and like stayed at my mom's place with me, and we just both like crashed on the couch in the basement and watched movies on the TV, and it was like it it was just high school again. It was a very cool experience. But yeah, check friends need to be checked in on, y'all. Do some maintenance, some friendship maintenance. Make sure you're checking in on people, making sure they're okay. I one of my buddies lives very close to me. And on Friday, right after our show, I had my like laptop and everything in my bag, and I went and he picked me up, and we went to a coffee shop, and we just like both worked from that coffee shop for a few hours. And just like we didn't really talk much. We just kind of hung out in the same space and just like did what we needed to do.
That's
But
nice.
like it's nice to just kind of vibe
Mhm.
with people. I feel like I'm
Good
talking
times.
over your calls to action, and I
No, it's
apologize.
good. It's good. You're giving me examples. Like All right, but yeah, do the things. Talk to your stuff. Form a steel drum band. No, that wasn't the middle one. The middle one was plan a beach day,
Form a
and
ska
then
band.
yeah,
Um,
talk to your friends.
yeah,
But yeah.
check in on your friends. Plan a beach day that you may or may not take, but like just have fun planning it. Like it actually might be more fun to like plan an extreme beach day, just like an
Mhm.
extravagant nonsense beach day that you like
Mhm.
aren't actually planning on going, but like you can just plan whatever you want. And check in on your tasks, take care of things, leave things better than you found it. Um, Thank you all so much for being here this week. We appreciate all of you. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Hit us up if you have ideas for like other stuff on the pitches we talked about today. If you have ideas for singing crabs or buff woodsmen or magic carpets, and we'll be happy to receive them. Have a great week, everybody. We will be back on Friday. Remember to embrace the nonsense and take care of yourself. Later, y'all.